So continuing in the unit number 1, that is introduction to database. In today's lecture, we are going to complete these points. First is database users. What are the different database users present in the database system that we are going to see. Next is most important user is administrator user, that we are also going to learn, and what are the responsibilities and what are the tasks that is carried out by the administrator, that we are going to see in today's lecture. And after this, I will have some time for question answer session, wherein we will have a discussion. I will clear your some doubts, and then I will go for review of unit 1 if time permits. What points we have covered unit number 1, that we are going to see. And after that, there are ebooks that I'm going to show how to download the ebooks that will help you to learn read the things. So I'm going to start with the first point, is database users. So basically, a primary goal of database system is to retrieve information from and store new information into the database. Keep in mind, what is the goal or aim of database system is to store the information and retrieve the information from the database system. So to store and retrieve the information, we need people that are going to interact with the database system. People who work with the database can be categorized as database users or database administrators. So the people who deal with the database system or the people who interact with the database system are categorized as database users and database administrators, that we are going to see in today's lecture. There are 4 different types of database system users, differentiated by the way they expect to interact with the database system. So these database user types has been divided into or categorized by way the people are going to interact with the system. So we are going to see one by one. Different types of user interfaces have been designed for different types of users. So according to the need of user, the user interfaces has been designed. There are different users having different aims and different ways to interact with the database system, and according to their needs, the user interface has been designed. So first user is name users. So these are unsophisticated users who interact with the system by invoking one of the application programs that have been written previously. So basically, these are the unsophisticated users. They are interacting with the system or database system by means of application program that have already been written. For example, a clerk in the university who needs to add a new instructor to the database along with the department name. So what he will do, he will call a program. The name of the program is called as new hire. In this new hire, this clerk is going to store the data of new instructor along with the department and his salary. So this program asks the clerk for the name of the instructor, her new ID, and the name of the department and the salary. As per the columns present in the new hire table, this clerk will need to add the information. We take this example. In this new hire table, we require name of the new instructor, then new ID, This is the unique ID for that instructor and the name of the department. Here it is, we have taken the department, for example, as A, and the salary of the instructor. So this information is going to add into a new hire table by the clerk. So the user interface for a naive users is a form where the user can fill in appropriate fields of the form. These naive users are just are the unsophisticated users. They only knew how to enter the data and how to store the data. So here it is in this clerk example. He knows only how to store the information about a particular new hired instructor with his name, ID, department, and salary. So what this name user uses the interface, it uses the interface as a forms. I will take another example. Suppose you are taking the admission for the engineering. So wherein you have to fill the form, wherein you have to mention your name, address, phone number, your marks, etc. And how you are going to interact with the database system. You have to fill this form fields present in the form, and then you need to click on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button, all the data present in this form fields will be stored in the database. So this is called as name users. This is the one of the category of database system. So new users may also simply read reports generated from the database. Once you do the registration for the admission, you can download your information. That is called as reports. Or take one example, if you applied for a particular company for job, once you feel that all the fields and fields present in the form, and at the end, they will give you a brief summary of your details in the form of PDF. That PDF is called as a report. So that reports can be generated by the new users and they will get that reports. Next is application programmers. So what is as the name suggests, application programmers. These are computer professionals who write application program. So to interact with the database system, we need to have some already written code that is written by the application programmers. Application programmers can choose many tools to develop user interface. So basically there is rapid application development tools are tools that enable an application programmer to construct, form, and report with minimal programming effort. So this is one. This is the tool. There are lots of tools that enable application programmer to construct forms and reports with minimal programming efforts. So basically, this application programmer is nothing but the computer professional who knows detail about the database, who knows how to write the code for the forms, and as per the requirement of the organization, he is going to write the forms so that forms will be interacted with the database system and data is stored as well as retrieved by a particular user. So this task is carried out by the application programmer. Next is unsophisticated users. Sophisticated users. These sophisticated users interact with the system without writing the programs. So it is one type of users who knows the system, but they are not going to write the programs, but they know they are a bit familiar with the system and they can store the data as well as retrieve the data from the database system. It is called as sophisticated users. So they form their request either using a database query or by using tools such as data analysis softwares. So these sophisticated users are using the query languages to query over the database, or they are using the tools for data analysis. There are lots of tools which will help for data analysis. They are working on the database system. So this database, sophisticated users are familiar with this and data analysis software. With the help of these two ways, they are going to interact with the database system, and they know how the data is stored, how that data analysis software is used for different purposes. That's why these users are called as sophisticated users. Analysts who submit queries to exploit data in the database fall in this category. For example, you have learned different analysts in the different organization. So these analysts are using the database of that particular organization. So all these analysts come under this sophisticated users. Next is specialized users. They are also sophisticated users who write specialized database application that do not fit into the traditional data processing framework. So we write the data special applications for the database. Again, they are familiar with the database system, what are different tools, and how to write the application for the specialized database. Among these applications, I'm going to take here, it is one example, computer aided design system. So some of the mechanical students came across this CAD system. Again, it is one type of database system. Knowledge base and expert system that store data with complex data types and environmental modeling system. So all these specialized users are going to write the specialized database system. For example, computer aided design system, or it could be a knowledge base and expert system, and it could be a system that store complex data types and environment modeling system. So some specialized application has been developed by this specialized user. That's why that user is called as specialized user. Again, they are sophisticated user. They are bit familiar with the database, structure query, how to write the forms, all these things they are familiar with. Next is database administrator. It's very important user in the database system because he is whole responsible to the database. He is one of the administrator who is going to retrieve the data, who is not going to retrieve the data. He is also responsible to assign the privileges to the users. So he is the, in simple words, main boss in the database system. So one of the main reason for using DBMS is to have central control of both the data and the programs that access those data. So again, one of the advantage of DBMS is to have a central control of both the data and programs that access those data. So in DBMS system, we have central control over our data and database system by using it is the administrator. A person who has such central control over the system is called the database administrator. The person that has central control, it is called as database administrator, and it is in short form, it is called as DBA. That is database administrator. Mostly this DBA is term used for database administrator. The function of the DBA includes. Now we are going to see what are the different functions of database administrators. First is defining schema. To define the schema in the database system, the responsibility of this is database administrator. For any organization, there is database schema and that need to be defined before storing the data. So that that schema definition has to be defined by this DBA. So the DBA creates the original database schema by executing the set of data definition statements in DDL. So this DDL is responsible to create the database schema in the database system that we have seen already in the last lecture. So to define the database schema, or in simple, to define the schema, we are going to use DDL statements, that is data definition statements. Next is this database administrator is also responsible for storage structure and access method definition. So he is going to decide how your database is stored or in which database name under with which structure to store. It is defined by the database administrator. And there are certain access methods that is also defined by this database administrator. We will see this in detail in the next unit, next unit, that is in unit number 3, in detail, how this access method and storage structure is defined by the database administrator. Just understand thoroughly, this database administrator is responsible for managing storage structure as well as for access method definition. Next is schema and physical organization modification. So again, the DBA carry out changes to schema and physical organization to reflect the changing needs of the organization, or to alter the physical organization to improve the performance of the database system. So again, this DBA is responsible for schema and physical organization modification. At any time of point, he can do the modification as per the requirement of the situation. Next, use of database administrator or responsibility of database administrator is granting of authorization for data access. So he is going to grant the authorization for access the data. So which person is responsible to access the data, which person is responsible to retrieve the data from the database system, it is defined by the database administrator. I will take one example here to understand what is meant by granting of authorization. In banking system or in bank, we have two users. I will take it is for example. One user is cashier and one user is, for example, one clerk in the bank. So what is the use of clerk here? Clerk is going to generate the reports only. So clerk can only read the data from the database system to generate the reports. Next user is our cashier. He is the person who is going to credit the amount and debit the account from the database system. So he is responsible to access the data from the database, do the modification and keep the changes, save the changes in the database system. So this database administrator gives the rights to the clerk to read the data, give the rights to read the data from the database. And for the cashier, he gives the both the rights, read as well as for write. So this is one example of granting of authorization in the database system. By granting different types of authorization, the database administrator can regulate which part of the database various users can access. As I said in the example right now, we can understand what is meant by which part of the database various users can access. So cashier can read and write, and clerk can only read the data. The authorization information is kept in a special system structure that the database system consults whenever someone attempts to access the data in the database system. Next responsibility of the database administrator is to maintain routine maintenance. He needs to do the maintenance of the system, and he needs to be regularly do it to check whether it is there any wrong things happen in the database system or not. So these are some of the examples of DBA routine maintenance activities. First is he is going to periodically back up the database either onto the pages or onto remote server, onto tapes or on remote servers to prevent loss of data in case of disasters such as flooding. So this is the one task, important task of the administrator. He needs to have to do periodically backup of the database system. Next responsibility of the DBA is to ensure that enough free space is available for normal operations and upgrading this space as required. So lots of activities are carried out behind the scene in the database system. So that task requires a free space, this space, to carry out that particular task. So database administrator must sure that free disk space is available to carry out all these tasks. Next thing, monitoring job running on the database and ensuring that performance is not digging very expensive tasks submitted by the users. So again, this DBA is responsible to check the running jobs in the database system and its performance. That must not be too much expensive. Too much expensive in the computer terms is nothing but it requires too much amount of computation and too much amount of time to complete it. So that is monitored by the database system. Database administrator. So these are the periodic routine maintenance of the database. Most important thing is to take the backup of the database system because it's a central control, and if that DBMS fails, then everything went wrong. But it doesn't happen because it's too much robust system also. Plus,